Hello, PSI2000 students. We're back for our final lesson of week 14 on electoral participation, credibility, and the politics of reform. The main issue for this week is to acknowledge that or recall what we talked about at the very first week of the course on issues of public legitimacy and voluntary consent. And obviously, if there's weaknesses in your electoral system, that's a significant threat to public legitimacy and voluntary consent. And what we have seen in liberal democratic governments over the last really 50 years is a gradual decline in electoral participation. Now that fluctuates quite a bit, but the trend has not been good from an electoral participation point of view. And politicians and political scientists that are concerned about the public legitimacy of democratic institutions, elected bodies, are obviously quite concerned about that issue. And so constantly we're looking at this question: why is it that we're not getting the electoral participation we want? Is it already a problem with the legitimacy of the existing electoral process? Or does it actually reflect that the people are really quite comfortable with the way things are going politically and feel that their vote won't make that much of a difference to that? But clearly, from a political scientist point of view, declining rates of electoral participation is not a good sign. So politicians have spent quite a bit of time trying to come to grips with this issue, both by focusing on what we discussed before on the permanent campaign, getting the vote out, making sure their base is well mobilized, and so on. But often that doesn't appear to be enough, and so politicians are looking for other ways to increase the public perception of the importance of individual votes. In the Liberal government, for example, in the last election campaign, in 2015, advanced the proposition of looking at proportional representation as a way of doing that, to make each vote count more than it currently does in the first past the post electoral system that we have today. That will be an ongoing debate, an ongoing discussion probably throughout at least this term of the Liberal government, if not beyond that. So the question then becomes, what's your opinion on that? Should we be moving to a proportional representation system? Will that enhance electoral participation? And what effect will it have on our political institutions and our political electoral outcomes in years to come if we move in a proportional representation system as opposed to the first past the post system? So when you do your readings this week, you'll be investigating a lot of these things, and you'll be forming your own opinions on whether the first past the post system we have now is adequate, or whether we should be moving to a proportional representation system where the idea behind that being that each vote actually counts for more. It will not be an easy thing to do to come to a proportional representation system. It will not be easy to reach public consensus on that. But the very fact that the government is willing to explore this indicates that there's still a healthy dose of people who are concerned about the public legitimacy of our democratic institutions in Canada, and that the tendency is towards constantly maintaining public legitimacy, constantly maintaining the rule by the people through through democratic institutions and elections. And I think that that's a positive sign for our democratic system. But the solutions will not necessarily be very easy to accomplish. So in your readings this week, form your own opinions on this question, and I'm sure that you will form opinions that will be relevant to you for the coming years, because this will certainly be a major political issue in the landscape of Canadian politics. And good luck with your next week's final take-home written exam, and I hope you have enjoyed the course, and do continue with your studies, and I hope that you all accomplish what you want to accomplish out of your education. And bye for now. Cheers. Bye.